a resource is likely to experience. And so this is where we bring in projections for future changes to our climate, including air and sea temperature, sea level, ocean chemistry, precipitation, erosion, lots of different climate factors that we're looking at. And we want to determine which of these factors a resource may be exposed to. This, of course, doesn't take into account what that exposure means, and that is covered by sensitivity, which is a measure of whether and how a resource is likely to be affected by a given change in climate. And so this pairs really with the exposure component, because if an individual is highly exposed to decreased pH, but it doesn't make a lick of difference on that individual's health or abundance, then it doesn't necessarily factor into their vulnerability. Of course, when we're looking at the impact of these climate-related and non-climate-related stressors, we're looking at direct and indirect impacts. So maybe the sea otter isn't impacted by decreased pH, but its prey likely are highly impacted by decreased pH. And so these are all things that we're considering when we're assessing vulnerability of our species and other focal resources. Some other things that are considered in the sensitivity score is whether or not a species is highly dependent on a sensitive habitat or a very specific prey item. And also, is this species more of a generalist, in which case they're going to be less sensitive, or is this species more of a specialist? And then, of course, we're also looking at life history, so the reproductive strategy can definitely impact how sensitive a species is. If we have a